Time has come. Yes, it's the 2021 singles match play draw. We're looking forward to the singles this year. We didn't have it last year, so it's going to be epic. We have 55 players that enter this year, and Fats is going to explain just now how the draw is going to work, how the groups are going to go. But if you didn't know, there are groups this year, and then we go into the second phase, which is straight head-to-head knockout. So Fats, take us through the group, who goes through, and the little technical pieces of it.
Right, yeah, as Maz explained, we've divided it into groups, and having 55 players, we've decided we're going to go with 8 groups. Just makes it easier for the next stages. So 7 of the 8 groups will have 7 players, and 1 group only 6 players. So you need to play each player in your group, and as Maz explained, the winner will be the guy who has the most sable fit points on the day. You don't have to be in the same 4-ball on the day at the event. From there, the top 4 players out of each group will go through to the round of 32. There we will have match play, one-on-one, head-to-head, as per normal. So yeah, I think if you make it through the group stages, the real excitement's going to start, where you have a one-on-one match play against your opponent, a round of 32, and then obviously we go through to the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and eventually the finals.
And what I like about it, if there's 7 in a group, the 4 players go through, so there's plenty chance to at least get to a head-to-head. Right, so you must be excited to see who and what group you're going to come out into. Okay?
Very exciting.
Here we go. Right, we're going to do Group A in our beautiful little studio. So the Wheel of Fortune and the Wheel of Names is going to come up. So let's start with Group A, and let's do this. In Group A, the first person to be drawn to take on the number 1 spot is Cornel Erasmus. Well, Cornel, you're the first guy out. Second, Ruben Swart. Ruben, you're joining Cornel in Group A. Third player is Jacques Gravenstein. This looks like a competitive group as we speak as well. Who's going to be the 4th? Jan Venter, new player this season. And who else? Luki Janssen, last year's player of the season. And finally, in Group A, which has 6 players, is Sepp Robertson. So here we go. Let's recap Group A. In Group A, Cornel Erasmus, Ruben Swart, Jacques Gravenstein, Jan Venter, Luki Janssen, and Sepp Robertson. Well done, gents. You're the first out. You got 6, so there we go.
Right, that's Group A. Let's move on to Group B. Let's see who's it going to be. Let the wheel spin. First up in Group B is Leon Oosthuizen, our classic champ. And joining him in Group B is Alan Cook. And let's see who's going to be third. That is Hansi Hamman in Group B. And then we have Clint Broeders joining them in Group B. And Frikkie Steyn, another new guy to the Duckhook tour. Karel van der Meulen joining them in Group B. And lastly, we have Mornay Kelly. Well done, guys. That's Group B. Let's just recap that for you. So in Group B, we have Leon Oosthuizen, Alan Cook, Hansi Hamman, Clint Broeders, Frikkie Steyn, Karel van der Meulen, and Mornay Kelly.
Right, on to Group C. Another 7 players going to be drawn. Let's do this. Who is going to be first in Group C? The wheel spins and lands on Dean Bester. Dean Bester is C1, who comes out second. Steve Saunders. Steve Saunders is in Group C. Joining them is Sadel Steyn. And then coming out 4th in Group C is Jason Ivans. Joining Jason Ivans in Group C is Billy Hall. Well done, Billy. Number 6 is Conrad Pretorius. And finally, who makes up Group C is Frikkie Barnard. A nice, good group of players. Recapping Group C: Dean, Steve, Sadel, Jason, Billy Hall, Conrad Pretorius, and Frikkie Barnard.
Right, that's Group C. Let's move on to Group D and see what the wheel brings to us. In Group D, we have Dani Geldenhuys. He was the runner-up in 2019. Joining him is Randall Chetty. Next up in Group C is Rudy Mattia, lefty. And then we have Paul Ricketts, also in Group D. Up next we have Sean Salmon, another low handicapper there. Joining them is Janku Dreyer, another newbie. And to complete Group D is Lyle Langley. Really strong group there of players. So let's just recap what happened in Group D. We have Dani Geldenhuys, Randall Chetty, Rudy Mattia, Paul Ricketts, Sean Salmon, Janku Dreyer, and Lyle Langley.
Okay, 4 groups to go. We're on to Group E. Let's see what Group E reveals. Spin that wheel. Okay, first up is Robert Michael. Nice, Robert. You're taking off Group E. Who else joins him? Ronnie Volherter. Nice, Ronnie. Third in Group E is going to be Chad Rose. This is turning out to be an interesting group already. Who's number 4? Hussein Ishmael. You're joining the lads. Number 5 is going to be myself. I'm joining Group E. I'm looking forward to playing with you gentlemen. Kevin Ho, that's going to be interesting. And then finally, we have Simon Mayer. Right, so at least we have a lefty in our group. Who will go out of this group? Let's recap. We've got Robert Michael, we've got Ronnie Volhert, we've got Chad Rose, Hussein Ishmael, myself, Maz, Kevin Ho, Simon Mayer. The top 4 go through to the round of 32.
Right, 3 groups to go. Let's see what happens in Group F. Spin that wheel. First up in Group F, we have JP Atwood. Joining him is Trevor Miller, recent winner on the Duckhook Tour. And next up, Carl van der Linde, joining them in Group F. And we have Tim Garner. Up next, who's it going to be? Kero O'Connell, another new player to Duckhook. Oh, Ryan Jensen, another veteran there. And last in the group is Andre Kotze. Let's just recap Group F there for you. We have JP Atwood, Trevor Miller, Carl van der Linde, Tim Garner, Kero O'Connell, Ryan Jensen, and Andre Kotze.
2 groups to go. We're on to Group G. Who are the 7 players who are going to make Group G? There's only 14 left, so let's go. First of all, it's Jamie Sherry. Well done, Jamie, you're into Group G. Richard Stewart is a great match player, very consistent. Then we have you, Fats. You're in Group G. Welcome to Group G. Brian Owen, new player as well. Thank you for joining us for the singles. Who's up next? Another duck, Ashley Herman. Or Herman, I apologize. Ewald van Wyk, you're up at number 6. And who's going to be the last? The last is going to be Jaden Volmerans. Right, so that's Group G. Let's recap Group G. We have Jamie Sherry, Richard Stewart, Fats, there you are, Brian Owen, Ashley Herman, Ewald van Wyk, and Jaden Volmerans.
Right, and we're down to the last group, and as you can see, there's only 7 players left in the wheel, so you guys know you're in the same group. But let's just spin the wheel for fun to see the order we can put the names down. So it's Pieter Prinsloo, then we have Kobus Skuman, we have Jaco Jacobs. Joining them in Group H is Mark Borragero. Up next we have Graham de Villiers. Second last player, Neville Kurtz. And then that leaves us with Pranay. Right, just to recap Group H, we have Pieter Prinsloo, Kobus Skuman, Jaco Jacobs, Mark Borragero, Graham de Villiers, Neville Kurtz, and Pranay Bande.
So there you go, it's a singles draw. Well done to everybody that entered. You now know your group, so how we'll work it is if you're playing in the same field, you will be paired up together virtually. And then at the end of it, we'll whittle it down from the top 32 to the top 16, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then we'll have a winner.
Of course. Just one thing I think we need to mention, if by chance the guys end up on the same points in the groups for like a 4th or a 5th place to go through to the round of 32, we just take your accumulated Stablefit points over the last 5 or 6 rounds in your group, and the guy with the most points will then go through to the next round.
That is very fair. Thank you and good luck.
3, 2,